Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Whiskey Wednesday Show with your hosts, Ken Tizzard and Music for Goats. Brought to you in full color and stereo sound amplification provided by Trainer. Broadcasting into the world from Storyhouse Studios in Campbellford, Ontario, you'll hear the best of old country, folk, Americana, punk rock, and 80s music delivered into your homes every week for free. And don't forget your regular dose of new and original songs from Music for Goats. Never be alone on a Wednesday night again, 8 p.m. Eastern and 9:30 for those of you in Newfoundland. Join the Whiskey Wednesday regulars on Facebook to be a part of the conversation, or watch on YouTube as well. Pour a drink, a cup of tea, or a nice cold long tooth. Roll up your best smoke and sit back and relax. Don't forget to hit the share button to help spread the word. The Whiskey Wednesday Show, every week. Cheers.
Well then, look at that. Whoa. It is Wednesday once again. It's a bright Wednesday this Wednesday. That's kind of weird, isn't it? Did the lighting just change? Is that just my eyes?
I think it's just your eyes, but
It's just
I
my
may be
eyes.
wrong.
Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to make a little adjustment here. That feels better. That feels a little less on display, so to speak. How's everybody doing?
I'm good, thank you.
It's Whiskey Wednesday once again. I've had another week to prepare, and once again I find myself in a state of utter unpreparedness. Unpreparedness?
No,
Unpreparedness?
unpreparedness, yeah.
Unpreparedness. Well, then thank you for agreeing.
No problem. I'm exactly the same way myself.
There you go.
Slightly discombobulated. How's that?
Welcome to the Whiskey Wednesday show. It is Wednesday. What day of the week is it? What day of the month is it? I know I've got it written on my show here. I know it's Wednesday. Yeah, I know that.
Let me
It's the
see
29th
It's
of January.
The 29th, yep.
It's almost February, so we're heading into a brand new time of season, midwinter. I would say this is getting into the deep freeze of midwinter at this point.
Pretty
the next
much,
2 weeks.
Yeah, and we've got Groundhog Day on Sunday, so.
Is that happening already?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well then, here's Groundhog Day. We're going to play some songs tonight. We're going to start the show off with a song called Home. Home has a great relationship. Home is about St. John's, and the video was shot. I called my buddy Jeff Younghusband, and I said, I'm using this app. I can't remember what it was called, but it was like an 8mm app, and it was actually a pretty cool app. I said, it's $10 or something, so I'll pay for you to download it, but I want you to go out and shoot just shots of St. John's, just the harbor, and just walk around and take 10 minutes of footage. And he did a lot more than just 10 minutes of footage. He walked all over downtown St. John's, and he got some great stuff. And that became all the content for the Home video, the original video for Home. So that was the Jeff Younghusband connection. Jeff is just an old friend, and his band Jigger. There you are, Jeffrey. Jigger are celebrating their 20th year. No, they're more than 20 now. We're going to talk about it in the show, but it was a great chat this week. I got to sit down with him and Phil and Don and John. I don't know the drummer. I don't think I've ever met him. I hear lots about him, and he seems like a real cool guy. He plays a lot of great bands back home. So, but he wasn't there either way. So I'm just going to refer to him as Snuffleupagus.
Okay.
And we will continue with that, because even in the video, it's it could really be a person or it could be AI. You'll have to see.
I didn't
and
realize
decide.
that Snuffleupagus was a drummer.
Snuffleupagus. Well, Snuffleupagus was Big Bird's best friend. Big Bird's best friend. So we're going to play some songs tonight, and we're going to have a great chat with Jigger. You're going to hear about their music. You're going to hear about the boys, what it's all about. Really excited to have them on the show. Wednesday, January 29th, 2025, the Whiskey Wednesday show, ladies and gentlemen. Myself and Neil here tonight. Mr. Grant gets back from Costa Rica next week. In time for the all request return of the full band next week. We'll have Dave, we'll have Mr. Grant. Oh my God, it's going to be crazy again. Wow, it's going to be raucous.
We're going to be claustrophobic.
It's going to be, yeah, that's okay. I'm always claustrophobic. This is a song called Home, ladies and gentlemen. It goes just like this. The city harbor lies behind the chain link fence. You can see it from a distance. You can even feel the wind, but you can't walk out on that dock and stand beside the sea-torn freighters. Sense those stories of the lives that live within. You can't have it the way it was, have to take it as it is. Those times have changed, those days are gone. Those days are past but not forgot. You can't stop the winds of change. Forever in your mind, the self-same. Oh, don't be sad. We were blessed for what we had. Those days are gone, memories cast in stone, and I know I'm not alone, and it chills me to the bone in this place called home. You can't lose what you don't own. The deepest ties you'll ever know, right here at home. Down Water Street, the storefronts changed a few blocks north. Who'd ever blame to fight against this hurt and change and waiting game? How many words can twist and burn like spark to hay? No further down, no further down this hurting old time road we'll stray. I have to take it as it is. Those times have changed, those days are gone. Those days are past but not forgot. You can't stop the winds of change. Forever in your mind, self-same. Oh, don't be sad. We were blessed for what we had. Those days are gone. The memories cast in stone, and I know I'm not alone, and it chills me to the bone in this place called home. You can't lose what you don't own. The deepest ties you'll ever know hurt so bad to let you go. And I thought that I just came to say hello to this place called home. The city harbor lies behind the chain link fence. You can see it from a distance. You can even feel the wind. Lovely, 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 tell your mother. Lovely, tell your mother. There you go. Oh, that was a lot of fun to play. I found this earlier tonight when I was when we were getting ready for our Newfoundland show, and I was getting prepared. I realized that I've never really shown y'all the this old Dominion ashtray. That's the I don't know if these things don't take focus too well. There we go, Dominion. That's the old Newfoundland. These were in every bar in Newfoundland at one point in time. These Dominion ashtrays. This one's still in great condition. The printing is still amazing on it. I only wash it carefully every now and again, but it does get used, you know, as a ashtray would in a house of modern smoking inconveniences that, you know, nobody does anymore. Speaking of inconveniences, our fridge died. That fucking sucked. I think I told you that last week. Was it last week it had died? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and man, what a pain in the ass. What a pain in the ass. Actually, it's not true at all. It wasn't a pain in the ass. I kind of realized early that it had, like before it went bad, and then it was going to be 3 days to get it, which wasn't too bad. And the gentlemen who brought it were fantastic. And they were so efficient. They came in, they knew how to sort of maneuver the back door to get the fridge through and to get the old one out. And one guy came in, and he came into the kitchen. He referred to me as uncle, and Allison was in her bed, which is on the other side of the kitchen. And she kind of went, "Oh, where are you from?" You know, she recognized that he'd be from the islands. Anyways, he was from St. Lucia, so he came over and poked his head around at Auntie, and said a few blessed words to her. So him and his mates came in and they took out the old fridge and put the new one in. And as they were leaving, they were like, "What's in those jars there, buddy?" And I had because I'd emptied my freezer. There was 3 sort of, big mason jars full of homegrown. I said, that's marijuana, guys. Why don't you take this? Here you go. Consider this your tip. Split it up amongst the 3. There's probably 2 ounces in there. And they reached out. They didn't hesitate. Boom. Thank you very much, sir. Oh, what a great day this is. We're going to have the best Friday ever. Awesome. That's fantastic. It's nice to have human interaction every now and again. Reminds me that people are funny and people are nice. Speaking of funny and nice, it's GT's 70th birthday tomorrow. Can you believe that?
Happy birthday, Mike.
Yeah, 70 years old tomorrow. 70. Good Lord. And as I say that,
He's just a youngster.
as I say that, we do talk about it when I'm chatting with the Jigger guys, and we realize that we're all just sort of a decade south of the other side of being that close to 70 ourselves.
Kind of. I won't be seeing that number again. Well, unless I put 100 in front of it.
You never know with what's going on again,
Oh, you're
the
absolutely
broccoli
right.
these days.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a song called The Devil. This goes out to my Newfoundlander friends again. Wrote this after visiting a buddy back home who had been going through some hard times. And I didn't realize it until I was departed from him again. Months later, I was home here at my house, and somebody posted that Phil Dinn died. Phil Dinn was a fantastic musician and actor from Newfoundland. Real cool guy. And I was quite close with Phil. I went outside and this song kind of came to me, and I thought for a while it was about Phil, and I realized it wasn't about Phil at all. It was about my other friend, but Phil's passing inspired it. It's called The Devil. It goes like this. Tonight I felt the rain, then I just got wet. I was sorry that you came and then you left. So I went outside for a smoke and a whiskey and a toke. And I felt the rain and then I just got wet. Today across the road that no man should, I chose to walk away from a place that used to be so goddamn good, and I went out searching for a home. On my own, I was happy, just me on my own. And I met a big old man out on that road. His face was flat and round, we shared a heavy load. He was big and rude and surly and mean, and when I told him my story, he replied to me. He said, "What do you mean? What the hell are you running for? What would it be you're running to? What would it be you're running from?" So I stayed with that man and he gave me a room. And I worked a couple of jobs, I pushed some brooms. I'd go out shopping in the stores, I'd never want for more. I was happy, just me in my room. And this went on for a while, and I got so sad. I started feeling lonely, and I started feeling bad. And I looked out just one night, and I tried to take my life, and I remembered all the best I'd ever had.
then I woke up in the day and everything was fine. I couldn't wait to tell my story and just let it all unwind. And I looked around to take stock, but there was no one left to go for a walk or sit and have a beer and talk about old times. The devil lives in St. John's, Newfoundland. Some say she's a woman, others say that he's a man. It might be gambling, might be booze, drugs or women or brand new shoes. But the devil lives in St. John's, Newfoundland. In the corners, in the darkness, you can see him walking. In the corners, in the darkness, you can see him walking. In the corners, in the darkness, you can see him walking. In the corners, in the darkness, you can see him walking. In the corners, in the darkness. You can't see him walking.
Nicely done, Neil.
Thank you.
For a man so tired as you are after everything you've been doing today.
Well, you know.
Driving in a snowstorm down to Kingston and back, and highway being closed down, and having to take an off-road and catch a ferry in the ice and the tundra of winter.
I tell you, it was quite something. Yes, Joe, I was down your direction today. I had to come back via Glenora, so down the Bath Road to the ferry and across there into the county. And
Ferry's different in the winter,
all
eh?
we got.
A little slower.
About the same, really.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's got pretty good engines, so.
And it's not a big spans, right?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's,
Roger Price, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Joe Murray, Debbie Parsons. Early request Wednesday. Weight of my shoulders for GT. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's GT's birthday. You're right. You're right, Debbie. Okay, let me think on some lyrics here while we take a moment to get into the first part of the Jigger interview. Let me just say hello to everybody else is here. Andrew Johnson, good to see you, my friend from Georgia. Tony, Steve, Deb, Roger, the regular gangs all here. Mr. Fudge, you're here as well. Excellent. We got some great Newfoundland stuff happening up tonight. We're going to jump right into it with, it needs very little setting up because I talk about it as it starts happening, but I got together with some of my oldest friends, and this is what happened. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to the Whiskey Wednesday show. This week we have three of my oldest friends, actually. In the top left here, we've got Phil Winters, then we've got Jeff Younghusband, who you've heard me talk about a bunch on the show, and Don Ellis, who played in one of my first bands. We played together in Waffet way back in the day. And me and Phil played together in
Cult of Reason.
Cult of Reason, that's what it was, with Sean Panting. And me and Jeffy have never played together, Mr. Younghusband, strangely enough. But that's all right. Someday that'll happen.
Still time.
Still time.
Still time.
These friends of mine are from Newfoundland and collaboratively have played with, amongst the three of us, the three of you and me, we've probably played with 30 or 40 bands from Newfoundland. Currently, you guys have a project which, if I'm correct, is 21 years old this April coming. Is that correct? Jigger, the band?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, this year, 2025 spring. Yeah, we're 21 years old.
21 years old, and you put out your first record in 2014, which was called Lead Reckoning.
Lead Reckoning.
Which had that amazing art. What was that thing you did, Jeff? What was that?
I made like a resin. I made a silicone mold and then cast resin covers that I burnished to make them look like they were made of lead, and they had a jigger and a compass on them.
They're beautiful.
Sort of thing.
I've got one.
That's what I made them, and so I did limited edition. I photographed that for the CD cover, but then I also made limited edition resin covers for them that I sold as sort of bonus
Okay.
things.
Everything about Jigger is so weird. You're a metal band, you're a punk band, you're a pop band. Your production and mixes are on level with any label act. And you've also got sort of elements of prog rock. Where's this all coming from? Somebody tell me about the Jigger project, how it happened, and when you guys sat down and said, "Hey, let's do something that does this." Did it happen like that, or how did it happen?
No, I think it just
and Phil
of.
are into like 2s and 4s, and Jeff's into 3s, 5s, and 7s.
Prime numbers, baby, prime numbers.
And I'm always trying to get him back to like 2s and 4s, and sometimes we get there. Sometimes we get there in a part of the song.
Yeah, well, I mean, 2s and 4s, 2s and 4s make 6, and 3 and 3 make 6. So, you can get things to match. You can always just take a page out of the King Crimson book. Go and do a deep dive on discipline and actually try and arrange it and chart it out with the time signatures. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So you got into, there is a fair bit of that sort of prog rocky, sort of time changes, whimsical arrangement changes, but you've also got a really strong, like the new record has got a really strong pop flavor as well. Like the first track on the record, what's it called? Sorry, I don't have a track list on me.
Precise with a knife.
Precise with a knife. That song is almost sort of a pop song in the way that the Pixies are now a pop band. And then you've got other stuff that's very, very metal riff rock. Are you guys cognizant of this when you're doing it? Like, are you thinking this is what you want to do? Or are you fumbling into stuff as a band? Somebody's coming in and saying, "Hey, I got a riff." How's the building process work?
It's mostly like, well, this record has the new record has like songs that I came in with mostly fully formed, and they would get maybe rearranged, or maybe they get rearranged and then put back basically the way they came in once we all knew that that's the way they worked.
Yeah.
There's a couple of songs that have really old riffs of mine that have been floating around forever. Like one of them for Pigeonholed, I've been playing since like 95, 96 when I was with Popmaster. I started jamming that riff, the opening riff, and I could never quite find anything I liked to go from there. And Phil finally said, "Can I take it?" And he came back and we played the riff. I played it like, at the beginning and at the end, and then he just sort of bastardized that and wrote this entire song, which he can tell you about what he wrote about, but that's how that worked. And then we sort of all just keep workshopping all the parts together. And COVID.
Yeah, I mean, there's a fair amount of workshopping involved, and like we jam a lot of this stuff out, quite a bit. And some things, I'll be just walking around in the woods, and something will be going in my head, like a transition or something like that, and I'll bring that in and get Jeff to approve it, and we're all good.
Lyrics are coming from who?
Well, both myself and Jeff,
Both you and
really.
Jeff. Yeah.
So mostly whoever's singing lead probably wrote what is being sung.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah.
And Don,
And we do suggest line adjustments to each other occasionally. Like, I know in Clones there's one line that I had differently, and Phil's like, "I hear it as this," and I was like, "Well, that's definitely better than what I had, so I'll put that in."
It's so Don, like I remember jamming at your parents' place when we were kids. And your mom used to always say, I remember coming over, I can't remember if it was you played with Schizoid for a while, right?
Yeah.
And I think we were there for a Waffa jam, but you were downstairs with Schizoid guys or something, or they had just left. And I remember sitting in the kitchen with your mom, and your mom saying,
"My poor grandmother."
What's that?
My poor grandmother.
But your mom sitting in the kitchen, I remember her saying to me, "Oh, Don, everybody loves working with Don because he's so good at making up beginnings and endings." And I remember thinking, like, that was something that struck me as really, like, because as a 15 or 14-year-old, however old we were then, we'd learn songs and we'd play them, but I wasn't even really thinking verse, chorus. I didn't give a lot to arrangement thought, but you were already there. And you've moved into, of course, producing and engineering, which you've made a career out of, which has been fantastic. You have produced, engineered, mixed so many people from Newfoundland and everywhere else. Do you find in Jigger,
are you contributing artistically to the music, the songwriting, and the craft, or are you more the drummer, engineer, kind of analytical guy who sits in the background and kind of helps to produce it, so to speak? What's your role?
Oh, he's
more
not
that.
the drummer.
Yeah, I'm not the drummer.
We're missing John Angelopoulos here in this.
Oh, sorry.
conversation.
Yes.
He's
No,
our
you're right.
drummer.
You're right. No. Sorry.
He can drum.
But when you're yeah, like when you're writing with the band, are you creating or are you more producing? I guess that's the question I'm looking for.
I'm playing with the boys. I'm playing their riffs, and I'm, like Jeff and Phil kind of write 99% of this music, and I've always kind of struggled to find my tunes in this band, and it's because that combination of those guys is like this nucleus. It's like this. It's like they're constantly like
Ever changing.
doing this.
We are intertwined. We are one.
They are one. They are intertwined, and I'm kind of on
Can't
the
stop writing songs about him.
yeah. I'm kind of on the outside looking in, but I love the band and I contribute in some way. But
Contribute in a large way, Don, buddy.
But it's
let's say like Don does a lot of jamming at things while Phil and I are like tightening things up. Don is constantly trying other things around it. And like the beginning of Hooks and Me is a good example where he played something and Phil's spectacular musical memory allowed him to say like, that was it, Don. This is how it goes. You just played it, and then tied Don's other rhythm riff against the main riff, like as that old down thing was like Don just fucking around, and then Phil was like, no, that's what we do, and like just pulling Don's little bits out and going like, no, stop fucking around. No, that's the one we keep.
I'm always fascinated by people whose focus has been on production engineering and producing, who actually play in bands. It's an amazingly complex role to maintain without sort of bulldozing over everything.
yeah.
As a musician, when you come into a thing, you've got to kind of leave your ego at the door. You've all got to be egoless. And then you bring in this other member who is a producer to help you sort of capture and evolve your sound. It's got to be so hard to be wearing both of those hats at the same time. Or do you
find it
turn it off?
It's hard, especially because I play bass, I play drums, I play guitar, and I sing.
Yeah.
So sometimes I want it to go this way, and I'm like, I can't impose that on another person because I'm not them. Like, they are who they are, and they have their skills and their strengths, and I can't be like,
yeah,
I could do it, or I could do it this, or I could do it that. It's like, no, maybe I can't do it better, actually. So I always have to be careful of that line that you're talking about, for sure.
Yeah.
We respect your musicality, right? And like any suggestion that you have is something that we'll take to heart, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's true. That's the first 20 is what you're talking about.
Is the what?
The first is like whatever riff somebody brought in, we're just going to jam it, and we'll just jam it for like 15-20 minutes straight until something turns cool, and then we're like, okay, let's somebody turn on a phone, like somebody capture, because it's cool. Yeah.
Pigeonhole was like that, like the riff for Pigeonhole that Jeff was talking about, that would come up every so often, and we'd just jam it out for a little while and then move on. But yeah, like it was something that inspired something different from me, like
yep.
When I went away with it at one point, it just started to come to me.
Who's the big Spoonerism fan here in the band? All the play on words. That's you, is it, Phil?
Yeah.
Don?
I don't know where he is in your frame.
Oh, okay.
You're down here, Jeff.
See, because you're down there.
Right there.
To me.
Okay, you're over. Okay, so we're all in different places. Like Lead Reckoning, for example. It's you're just moving a word around. Night of the Diving Lead. Are you calling it Night of the Diving Lead or the Diving Lead?
No, the Diving Lead.
It is the Diving Lead. Okay.
Because the jigger is made of lead. It
dives.
Dives into the water and comes up with a cod or a squid or.
And that was my next question. For those who don't know, what is a jigger? Is Jigger
I
always
wish I had.
two-pronged?
I wish I had mine with me, but yeah, there you
There you
go.
go.
Jeff's got it on his forearm there.
Is a Jigger always two prongs, or can it be 3 and 4 prongs?
I've
Two, I
always
think
seen them
also some of the
three.
new ones, the new metal ones have three on them, don't they? But these old lead ones, the fish would be lead, and then they'd have iron hooks on them, I guess, and drop by hand line, and then you
Drop
pull
by
a couple
hang.
feet up off the bottom. You just pull a few times. One maybe
They're
if you
about
were lucky, you got two on it.
and they're about the length of your hand, but that's
Yeah,
pretty much actual
that's
size. I
pretty
mean,
close to actual
Yeah.
size on my arm there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
still it.
How do you guys feel about the new record?
Love it.
Really good.
Yeah.
It
Love
sounds
it.
fucking
Good.
great.
Yeah, we're so happy with it. I mean, Don just like, really, captured and then massaged everything just beautifully. And, you know, and we did do a lot of the like, we'll worry about how you play it later,
Right.
like things like let's put more vocals on than we'll ever be able to reproduce live. There's vocal parts that we just can't sing while we're playing, like so it's like we're trying to put them in, but then it's like yeah, let's not do that. Let's focus on keeping it tight. Leave that
Yeah.
part out.
That's
Yeah, we
always the
want
hard
to make
part
a
about.
record.
Yeah, that's the hard
We
part.
make a record.
After you've made the record, learning how to play the record is a whole other organism.
Oh my God. Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just did you've got another show coming up in February. Did I just see you posted it today?
February 8th at the Ship.
February the 8th at the Ship. And who's with you on that bill?
That's the Sea Dogs and Puce.
Puce. Oh, nice. Sea
Puce.
Dogs and Puce. Very cool. And Night of the Diving Lead is out now. You can get it on Flipside Records. Is that right? It's called Flipside.
Flipside Records NL, yeah, like Doug's got it out there for if you want to order it for shipping, or Fred's Records has it. You can order for shipping there too. I don't really deal with shipping, but if you're in St. John's, you can message me and I'll either deliver it or you can come pick it up from me. So.
I'm curious because Newfoundland is it's an anomaly. Most cities that I know across Canada right now are really struggling with live music still. The venues are closing down. Cities that used to have 3 or 4 venues now have none. The cities that used to have 10 to 15 video sort of places might have 1 or 2 now. It seems like in St. John's, no matter what happens, the arts culture, the culture of the arts and music in Newfoundland still survives. I think it's just part of our breeding. How is it down there these days for a band like you guys to be playing? Is there ample places to play? Are people still going out? Are you doing early shows, late shows, all ages shows? What's the land like down there?
There's lots of places to play. They're all, with the exception of sort of one, on pretty small, like, there's the Rock House, which holds like 300 people. So that's sort of the biggest place. And those bigger places and that's sort of the indie rock scene. And then there's the Black Sheep and the Ship. Both hold like, 140 or 150 people or something like that. And then there's like Aaron's Pub and CBTG's, and then
Peter Easton.
Hmm?
Huh?
Peter
Peter
Easton, right? Peter Easton Pub, and then there's a new all ages venue called Second Stage, which is struggling a bit, but it's got having shows every weekend. And then there's a guy who does punk rock bowling all ages shows, like at St. Pat's Bowling Lanes. That's pretty fun. And yeah, so I don't know, a lot of small stuff, but like it's partially is because the bar scene here totally relies on the local bands for music. Like it's not like there's touring bands. It's not like three of those bars could have a touring band in them this weekend. Like that doesn't happen. Like, once in a while one of them has a touring band in it. It's like no one's touring here on a regular basis. So it's
And if
it's
they
up
are,
to
they're
us
staying
to
at
fill it
Jeff's
up. You
house.
want to see music, it's going to be your friends' bands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, and if they are, they're staying at Jeff's house.
Yes.
That's right.
True.
The Zombie Boys. Man, I had so much fun catching up with those guys. It was just a treat. Got a little bit emotional there, sort of at the end of the second thing when we were saying goodbye. It was just like, wow, the four of us haven't hung out together in a conversation since, it's probably been 30 years since the four of us have been in the same room. I've seen them all, separately, but anyways, we got a great little part 2 coming up on that as well. Hey, John Loper, how you doing, man? I hope you're having a good time back home. John Loper is a photographer that I worked with for years up here. He's been living in St. John's, or Newfoundland all around. Great artist, fantastic artist. I think I put you and Jeff together at one point in time, or I may have suggested you seek him out. And we've got Jeff Seymour here too. Hey, brother, how you doing? Nice to see you, man. I hope winter is. I don't know what to hope for winter, man. I know what you're going through, and winter doesn't help with weird states of being and being in pain and stuff like that. So I hope the view outside your window, at least in the sunlight, is a nice couple times a day. Song called Already Gone. How you doing, Llewellyn? Good to see you, brother.
52 years old, I'm bored and tired and horny and stoned. I'm listening to the Pixies on the radio in my car. I'm missing you, I'm missing me, I'm missing them, hard to believe. It's been that way since 1984. I won't hear you calling on the telephone, I'm already gone. Been listening to the Clash record playing, and I'm scratching at my head and saying, where have all the good times gone? I won't hear you calling on the telephone, I'm already gone. It's one of 1,000 shows I'm super excited to see off, though it's hard to find my way into believing. Idols the band, missing stereo, missing bass, missing 2 chords in my face, missing something righteous, something dangerous. I won't hear you calling on the telephone, I'm already gone. Been listening to the Clash record playing, and I'm scratching at my head and saying, where have all the good times gone? I won't hear you calling on the telephone, I'm already gone. I won't hear you calling on the telephone, I'm already. This is the last cruel night of summer. Digging through ashtrays once again. What a time we've had. Good night and God bless. Most of my friends are so very lonely. I won't hear you calling on the telephone, I'm already gone. Been listening to the Clash record playing, and I'm scratching at my head and saying, where have all the good times gone? I won't hear you calling on the telephone, I'm already gone. I'm already gone. I'm already gone.
There you go. Little already gone for you all. Barry, you got a little video there for us while we retune here.
Hey folks, thanks for tuning in to the Whiskey Wednesday show. Every Wednesday we will be here, rain or shine, richer or poorer. Tip jar is in the link above. Never expected but always appreciated. Never confuse the size of your paycheck with the size of your talent. I've got all the money I'll ever need if I die by midnight. Always appreciated, never expected. Please feel free to drop us a line regarding anything, including a link to your money. Cheers.
I came here from the city, trying to find some peace of mind, to get myself on track and buy myself some time. This town is growing on me. Here's a song.
Oh, it's the new video for the donate in 2025, which is where we are. It's crazy. We're almost through the first month too. We're going to do another song, then we're going to get into part 2 of Jigger. Thank you all for being here to meet my friends and seeing a new band and stuff. And we're going to talk some more about the Newfoundland scene and all that stuff, and what each of the boys do individually, collectively, and together, even when they're outside of band practice and being on stage. This is a song. Trying to think of how this one ended off in the set tonight. I think Allison did the set, didn't she?
Well, I don't know. I didn't. Barry, did you do it? I did. Okay, so Barry did.
Must
so
be
that
Allison.
Basically means either you or Allison. Yeah, I think so.
Allison's been she's been following what we've been playing and making sure we're not playing the same thing too much. You know, we got about 100 songs, and trying to make sure we don't. George Thorne, how you doing, brother? George Thorne.
Hey, George.
Word to the wise for you. Puffco Peak. Nice little dab unit.
I come down from the misty mountain. I get lost on the human highway. Take my head, refreshing fountain. Take my eyes from what they've seen. Take my head, change my mind. How can people get so unkind? I come down from the crooked mansion. I went looking for DJ's daughter. Since that day, I heard it mentioned that my name is on the line. Now my name is on the line. How can people get so unkind? Now my name is on the line. How can people get so unkind? I come down from the misty mountain. I got lost on the human highway. Take my hand, refreshing fountain. Take my eyes from what they see. take my head, change my mind. How can people get so unkind?
Nicely done, sir. Nicely done. Very
Oh,
well
thank you.
done. Yeah, that Yamaha's got a beautiful chime to it. Works really well over the dullness of the Martin.
There
Man,
we
these two are nice together.
Quite complimentary, yeah.
For sure. Deadwood, how you doing? What year is the Martin? It's actually not that old.
I thought it was around a 78 or something.
No. This is an 04. The other one's a 78.
Oh, okay.
This is the 04. This is the one that was made, the custom that
Right.
was made. There was 5 of them made or something.
Yeah.
There's a long story to it, but I'm very lucky to have it. And it spent some time at the Opry. And it's a lovely guitar. And I know that I use effects with it sometimes, which I shouldn't. But she's a gorgeous, gorgeous beast. Love her. Just speaking of love, what else do I love? I loves me some Jigger. Let's hear part 2 of the Jigger interview coming at you right now. And you're all Phil. You used to take photos of little tiny things. Are you still doing that at all? You mentioned earlier you're not doing it as much.
I haven't been for the last year and a half or so. Like, I was doing taking photos of birds, insects, and that sort of thing. I kind of, like 2 summers ago, I kind of got more into the macro and, like getting all sorts of different like insects on flowers and that sort of thing. But working at the hall kind of, for as much as I was doing it, kind of, took it out of me a little bit. I mean, I still have my shit and my platform and stuff like that, so it's not something that will be gone forever. And I'd like to actually get back into doing more of it. So
Healthy breaks are important.
Say again?
Healthy breaks are important.
Absolutely.
I
Well,
saw.
I love it. I love the birds and the bees and the insects and stuff like that. And anytime you can look down at the ground, take that time to see another ecosystem, kind of puts a few things in perspective.
It's pretty wild. I saw a close up. Yes, there's one. That's beautiful. See, just gorgeous. I saw a close up of an ant's face on Instagram, and it was, I don't know, they described the lens procedure to get to it. This thing was, I'll see if I can find it and send it to you, Phil, because it immediately reminded me of you. A, because it was like macro photography of insects, but B, like it was just the face of the ant, and like the devil. It's the craziest looking thing.
I know, it's amazing. Like the faces of insects are just wild.
Yeah,
I mean, like those damselflies that Don just showed you, like to see them up close, like eating another insect, it's just like, and it's amazing. It's amazing to see that sort of thing, right? Because
most people never do.
A lot of people go through their lives never ever seeing anything like that.
Yeah,
and they influence a lot of Phil's imagery in his songs. That's for sure.
Very cool.
I mean, Pigeonholed is about the extinction of the passenger pigeon.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Which he kind of, was a bit of a passion for me to write that,
Jeff, are you working on any TV shows at the moment, or what's your?
I just finished cutting sound effects for Hudson and Rex season 7. Turned that over, so that's actually in the mix room. Just started mixing today, I believe it started mixing. So that was the last one, and I've got a feature film coming up in February that I'm doing the sound effects for.
Fantastic.
And then
also
doing
Jeff,
home renos and stuff like that.
We were watching St. Pierre last night, and I saw the guillotine that you made.
Oh, yes, I built a guillotine for Alan Hocko's show St. Pierre, which debuted last week, did it? And this is the second week or something like that?
It's been on for 3 weeks now. This is the
3 weeks,
third episode we watched last night.
So you guys are all fully invested in the Newfoundland arts scene, both music, theater,
Yeah.
television, every dance, all aspects of it. It's
All
amazing.
of it.
Yeah.
Me, Phil, and Jeff just worked on a show called The Feast of Cohen, where Jeff was the stage manager, I was the sound, and Phil was the lights.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, and any of us could have potentially been in the band as well. Like
Yeah.
that's the beauty of St. John's is we all rely upon each other, and we all kind of need each other. So there's a sense of community there, but it's also like when the moments are amazing and great, you go like, there you go. There you go. I have no further questions, Your Honor. You know, it's great.
And you know, when you're hanging out with people that you've got a lifelong friendship with, and you're sharing similar passions, you know, be it dance or music or theater or whatever, film, you know, when you're passionate about it and you've got friends that you've known and that you're so comfortable with, and you can do it all together like that, it's an amazing blessing. You guys are so. I can tell you from a Newfoundlander who's not at home, who, you know, yes, I have friends up here and I have people that I know, but I don't have anything like the connection and the scene that in my mind exists, and it used to exist back home in Newfoundland. You know, it's a real beautiful thing. I'm so happy to see you guys all still part of it. It's very cool.
Well, it really is a pleasure
Thank
to,
you.
you know, to have that connection,
Yeah.
and a privilege. It really is, you know, like working a show with Don and Jeff. You know, what more would I want?
Yeah.
It took me a little while to slip back into the scene, but when everyone knew I was back and then I started working again, it was like, whoa, I can't keep up. I was like, there was one day I was on, I think it was Son of a Critch or something. I was doing like catching calls for films for a while. Like I'm not doing full-time film,
Right.
because I want my old life going, right? Where I do like a theater show a year. I do a couple of albums. You know, I worked a couple, 2-3 months on film. You know, I've always done that.
Yeah.
Very, like I like to play music. I like to record music. I like theater. I like film. I like it all. I like doing live sound. But once it all kind of started to come back, it was like, holy shit, this is too much. Like there was one day I actually turned down 5 film shoots one summer. It was like 5 shows.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were not none of them were big. One was big, one was sort of medium, and then there were like 2 docs, and the other one was like a short film or a small film. And I just thought, this is bizarre.
Yeah.
Like this is city sort of juggling in a town of 180,000, 190,000 people. So
I think that's
yeah.
okay.
I mean, we always worry about turning down stuff that, you know, you won't get asked again, you know. But it's strangely you do get asked again.
Yeah.
You know, do.
What do you mean when the 5th asked person doesn't do a perfect job, they ask the top asked person again?
Exactly. That's what I was just going to say. Like, if you
We
do
used the trainee because we had to, but we prefer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we've been chatting with Jigger for the last little while. They have a new record out. It is called Night of the Diving Lead. They have an old record out from 10 years ago called Lead Reckoning. They're both on all streaming services, and you can pick them up at Fred's in Newfoundland. Fred's will also ship, as well as Flipside Records NL, if you want to get a copy of the vinyl, which is very cool. What color vinyl is it? Is it black or is it a splatter?
It's a splatter here. Let me show you.
Yeah, I remember seeing
the background.
Oh, that's a beautiful splatter too.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's sort of. Yeah, no, it's good. That's awesome. Isn't that ever great, eh? Vinyl is so much fun to do. So much fun to do. Yeah, I've done 3 now, and I love them. I mean, they're a pain in the ass. Yeah, stuff like this, the artwork. It's amazing. It's amazing.
So that's a painting I did, an oil painting, and like then the liner is the painting
That one,
which is on the shirt, and which I did as well, which hangs here in my kitchen.
Yeah. That did Richie do the video, the animated video, or was that done by?
No, that was done by a friend of mine from film school. I went to Humber College in 88, 89, and I'm still friends with one of the guys from that one year that I went to film school. And he's out in BC, and he's a production designer for animated shows. And he has this sort of company that he calls Cobra Blade Detective Agency, and he's sort of really into in his off time. He messes around with AI animation and stuff, and he keeps coming up with these weird ideas and like generating a whole bunch of AI images around this weird idea, like fake films, and creating film stills for him and stuff. So I messaged him and asked him, would he make us a lyric video, thinking he'd make us like a few little interstitial clips, and then we just card up the lyrics over it or something, something really cheap and fast. And after he started, he was like, I'm just going to make you a whole video. And we sent him a bunch of shots of the band playing live and stuff. And so he used those to sort of morph some of the characters in it. So there's no way that looks really just like any one of us, but there's lots that are like, that looks like me and Don mashed together. That looks like Phil and Don mashed together. That looks like Johnny and me mashed together, sort of things. And he just came up with some crazy industrialization overlords that then turns into a Viking raid on a jigger gig or something. I don't know what happened.
I've watched
The
it a
video
few
went off
times.
the rails once he started going. And I can't say enough about it. It was really fun, and you can find
It's
that.
really
That was for Leadfoot, which is one of the songs that like was a pretty big collaborative song between Phil and I.
So cool, because all of the artwork, all of the photography, everything was done by either the band or ex-members of the band.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like, so the back photo on the album, then we sort of thought up, we were like, we should be like underwater zombies. So we went and had Richie do a photo shoot with us. And so he took individual photos of the band, and then he knew the idea and he did some SketchUps, but then I did all of the Photoshop work up to the album art scale on the back there. And to continue the whole AI thing, like this has got a bunch of AI parts that I made, like a lot of the bubbles and like the actual background and the water surface were all AI generated to do the thing. And then our photos at the top, and even like the painting on the cover, I took after we had the name Night of the Diving Lead. Then I started feeding that into AI and seeing what it generated, and I took elements of that, and once I mashed them together, generated something similar to this, and then I used that as my guide for painting the album cover.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So much collective talent between the band, so many different artistic expressions, and the history and the time, and also collaborating with new technology. That's pretty cool. Yeah,
there's a lot of
the core. I'm the one of which your mother warns. I'm built like a monolith, and in my hands I got a list. Best hope you aren't on it. My lead foot's gunning for you. There is nothing you can do. You can try, wondering why on bloody knees I see your eyes in mine, weeping insincere, salty crystalline, twinkling crocodile tears, faulty by design. In the moonlight I see your eyes in mine, seek to interfere, influence my thought optically. Am I on a sphere? Is it hard to find? Fascinating. Oh, I see your eyes.
Cobra Blade Detective Agency.
And here is me staring up at the TV with a big smile on my face going, holy fuck, was that ever nice, man.
Those guys are just amazing.
It's
They
incredible,
really,
isn't
really
it? I
are.
know.
They're just,
When you sit and you
wow.
watch the video, it's just like, holy fuck.
Man.
The time they put into those arrangements and stuff. The whole record is great. Both the records are great. Lead Reckoning from a decade ago is fantastic. It's just great. And there's there was parts the video I couldn't put it all in because it was one of those sort of 2-hour plus videos. But the whole what was I going to say? There was something they were talking about that was really cool. I can't remember what it was, but I removed it. But it was something else that I was going to talk about. Now I can't remember. But what a treat! What a treat, guys! If you're back home, go to their opening with Sea Dogs and Puce. What was that? February 25th or something?
February the 8th.
February the 8th.
Is it at the ship?
At the ship. We've got another Newfoundlander. It's the wrong final version of the video I sent you. There we go. Well, we got a special version of it. Steve Osafalo queued him up on Spotify after Whiskey Wednesday. Excellent. Barry was just saying here during the break too. He said, "I got to get this record. This is fucking amazing." And Barry's a bit of a metalhead, right? For those of you who didn't know, February 8th. Yeah, very cool. And Joe, good. Check him out. Yeah, the bass in the Beats headphones was awesome. Tony, I tell you, man, check the Jigger stuff out. It's amazing. Great band, great guys. Having Don on as, doing all the production work is Don's got an amazing set of ears. So, we're going to play one more song, and then we're going to come back with another Newfoundlander, Marcel Lavandier. I'm a huge fan of his street photography. He takes these pictures. It can just be a fence with a bank of snow, and I see it, and I go, "Oh, I'm home." Or he'll take a picture of a drain, that like is on a corner that I recognize from somewhere back home. He does this observational street photography that somehow resonates with me on this crazy level. And I reached out to him when we did the Mad World recording, and he gave me a bunch of images, and we made a video for Mad World. So that's going to be the video rewind tonight. Next week is the all request. Throughout the week, once you see it posted, start letting us know what you want. Wanted to say again, happy birthday to Martina. It was her birthday just last weekend. Martina White. All of our friends back home know Martina. It was her birthday. Happy birthday. GT 70th birthday. That's a big celebration. Deb said she's there drinking with you. I don't know if she means that she's drinking with you or you're part of the group and you're having a drink. Doesn't matter. Happy birthday. And we're going to play a song that I don't think I've played on the show. I don't know if I remember the last time I played this song, actually. I'm just going to think here for a second.
I remember the last time I played it.
You haven't played it.
Correct.
There you go. Okay, so this is going to be one of those firsts. Let's see. I'm even debating going back to the thumb pick on this one, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we'll see what happens.
If I had all the precious money in the world, let me tell you what I'd do. I'd buy you all those pretty dresses that you like, and some brand new matching shoes. I would buy you everything your heart desired, spend it all on you. But I'm barely pinching pennies, scraping by, but I got you. I got you. If I had the answers to the problems of our time, I could feed the hungry and cure the ill, stop all the wars and end the sadness of our world, build a quiet house upon that hill. I would take the time to stop and drink fresh water. I'd find fields of green for us to run through. But I don't have any answers, but I got you. I got you. Rich. If I could find a way to stop time in its tracks, I'd repeat fond memories, press my regrets to the back. I would make some time and I'd spend it all with you. We'd live the life we shared with everything we'd ever do, but I can't stop time. But I got you. I got you. If I could find the words to write the perfect song, and I could play it just for you, arrange a melody so beautiful and sweet, with every detail running through. Each night I'd sing this perfect lullaby for you, just to help you drift off from this world. But that song remains a mystery, but I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you.
Little I Got You there, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, what a great, it's been a great week for me, getting to hang out with the guys back home for an hour and a half. Really kind of it stirred up a bunch of stuff, and it put me in a good place, and a very nostalgic place, which is good, and not in a dangerous, depressive way either, which was really nice. It was just nice to see some mates, so that was cool.
Actually, it must have been. I've got to know certainly Jeff well enough that it's a delight to hear them play.
Yeah.
It's a delight to hear them talk. They're great guys.
They're such super people, and I'm gonna try and get down in the spring, and we're gonna try and see if we can do something all together down there, which would be nice. Bring the band down and do a night of maybe getting some of the punk rock stuff together, or some other stuff that might possibly happen. But either way, it's all cool. Again, the video that we're looking at is Mad World. Weight of the World for GT Mike will be on the top of the list for next week. GT, we will celebrate your birthday again next week, mate, and we'll play that song. Here is Marcel Lavandier's Photos on a track for Mad World from the All Together Now album. Be nice, be kind, be friendly, cheers, be like Steve. Take care.
Once again, thanks for spending another Wednesday with us here at Storyhouse Studios. Thanks to Trainer, Yorkville, and a Longtooth Beverage Company for being a part of the show. We love our time on the Whiskey Wednesday show and appreciate all of your support. Don't forget to hit up the tip jar if you feel so inclined. Never expected, but always appreciated. Tune in every week for more guests, songs, stories, drinks, and gear talk. And don't forget to visit the website, www.kentizzard.com, to sign up for the Whiskey Wednesday Wrap-Up. Compiled by Allison, this is a monthly overview with highlights, directories of songs, and so much more. Be kind, be helpful, be happy, be safe. See you next week.
Jim Beam.